great when a baby goes to sleep because it's a
It's
lot easier to control them. So why wouldn't you guys just let him keep on sleeping in his chair? I mean,
because it was just getting towards the end of the day, and
can you sleep there to the end of the day? I mean, wouldn't he be
we had to transfer the kids. That was the reason.
Transfer them to what?
Like, put them in a different classroom when we went down.
Was he in this classroom the whole day, Ben?
The classroom I was in?
Yeah.
I thought you'd made a comment earlier that the reason you tried keeping him awake was because the parents were concerned that he was...
Yeah, that too. If he did fall asleep though, we would let him, but he can't sleep up until 5. After 5, he had to be awake because the mom would pick him up.
But this was at like 3:45, right?
It was like 4 o'clock, yeah.
So why wouldn't you just let him sleep till 5?
Because we were getting ready to start doing diapers too, and then we had to bring over the kids because they told us as soon, as you lose another kid, they tapped on the window like, as soon as you lose another kid, blah 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 or whatever, you can start bringing them over. So we're like, okay, but we're gonna do diapers first. So we waited a little bit and we were playing because usually he sometimes falls asleep, but he really doesn't. He'll like close his eyes and like open them and just sit there and relax. So that's why I've been keeping him awake.
When you went up to him, was there anything coming out of his mouth? Or?
No.
So you just went up to him and said, Ben, Ben, and he didn't respond?
No.
And you said you shook his arm?
Yeah.
And how did you know that he wasn't just sleeping real sound?
Because he would have woken up.
Why? Were you shouting his name?
No, he would have heard me. Because at other times when he would fall asleep on the chair, he would wake up.
If you said his name?
Yeah, or I'd be like, Ben, Ben, and his eyes will open. They really would. And then after that, give it like a few seconds, he'd probably try and fall asleep again. But that was why I did the call. I'm still trying to even think how he even got the fracture. I'm still clueless.
Right.
I wish I could tell you. I have no idea.
That's the same question we're trying to get answered.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Right. Did you look up anything on like your computer at home about injuries to children's heads, or if we
I didn't know anything.
Subpoena your record?
Yeah.
Would we be able to find out? Would we see anything about you researching anything about infant deaths or anything in the last couple days?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
And we're not going to find out from your boyfriend that, you told him that you made a mistake and you accidentally dropped Ben? Mm-hmm. We're not going to find that out?
No.
Because if that's the case...
Yeah, no.
You got to tell us, Melissa.
Yeah, I know.
Because we're not out to hurt you.
I know.
We don't want to hurt you, honestly.
Melissa, what if Nancy accuses you of doing this? Then what?
I'm going to be questionable. I'm going to be like, why? What did I do? I've been trained really well to actually do this. And I understand she's been there, but I've been trained really well. And I handle even little infants younger than he does myself.
No, I'm just saying, what if she facilitates,
And says that I did it?
Yeah, said, hey, this is what I saw.
I'm going to be like, well, why? Like, how? What did I actually do? What did
So
I
there's no doubt in your mind that if she makes an accusation that she's not going to have anything to back that up with. No doubt in your mind that when Nancy, or she's being questioned right now, says, look, I'm going to come up front with you guys. Melissa, she made a mistake. I saw it. I didn't know what to do. This is completely out of character for me. I should have said something, but it's her responsibility. She was in there the whole time with them. This is what she did. Then what? Where are we at?
I would have been like, I would tell you. I would straight up tell you that I did make a mistake, and I was too afraid to say something, I didn't know it would actually hurt him, and I would have came clean and even said to Miss Beth and Miss Sandy, here's what happened, and that this is what, his head hit the floor or wherever his head got hit, and I would have said, I am completely so sorry. I didn't mean to do this at all. That's what I would have said, and I would have came clean. I wouldn't hide nothing from no one. If I knew I was doing something wrong, or if I did something wrong, I would go up and I would talk to them, because it would make me feel better.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily that you did something wrong. I mean, there's sometimes accidents happen, and I mean, they're unavoidable.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all been in car accidents. Sometimes stuff's just unavoidable. So if that's the case, it's not like you did something wrong, but we need to get to the bottom of this. And I'm sure you understand, because if you had a child, you'd want us to be doing the same thing.
I'd be questionable and trying to figure out what's going on.
Right, and you'd want to know if you said, you left your child in a daycare system and somebody ran into an accident, and that led to your son, maybe he had some kind of special skull, or maybe he had previous injuries, I don't know. He was sick a couple days prior, but maybe this little accident is what caused it. It would just give them some closure, and it would help us clear this case out. Yeah,
we're not saying we don't know if there was a pre-existing condition, and something, right. Sean's point is something may have aggravated it. There are strange physical anomalies, things with people that sometimes you don't know. I mean, there's a thing out there where certain adults have skulls that are like eggshells.
Okay.
And they go around their whole life without ever having a head trauma or a head injury, and then one sudden, hit or fall or hit to the head, and suddenly they're dead. There could be a pre-existing condition with him. The reason we're asking you about any other injuries that you may have noticed is that this is something that may have started,
okay,
and then been amplified. Okay. It's sort of like aggravating an old injury. And that may also give off the appearance of intensity.
Yeah. And like you said that too with the injury, he has had bumps on his head, but that wasn't from us.
How do you know that?
Mom even said, I seen him, Billy seen him.
Was it ever documented?
No, because he would do them at home. Like, he would do it with Mom around.
Who else seen that?
Me, Gwendy.
The mom would tell you he had...
Yeah, she even told the doctors at the hospital that, with these bumps on his head, it's from him hitting his head. I was told. And
by who?
By the director. Beth and everybody, we were all talking, and Billy even asked me, they're like, have you noticed about the bump on the head? And I'm like, no, I haven't.
When was this?
This was at the hospital when they were all at the hospital with Beth.
Wednesday or?
Yeah, Wednesday. And they asked me, they're like, have you noticed about the big bump on his head? I'm like, no, I haven't. I didn't recognize it. But I have noticed, though.
Did he have any bruises on his face?
No, none.
None that day?
None. Absolutely none.
You would have noticed?
I would notice if he did. He has really light skin.
So who was involved in this discussion at the hospital?
Well, Beth went there because they wouldn't let her ride in the ambulance. So she had to take her own vehicle, and this is what she found out. And Billy even was there.
Who?
Billy. He even said that they saw
Who's
bumps.
Billy?
That's her husband.
Okay.
He even said that he saw a big bump on his head. And they have asked me, and I was like, I have not seen it at all. I didn't even recognize it. Every time he would throw his tantrum fits, it would be on the ground. Like the carpet, not on the tile.
You would have noticed if he threw one that day, right?
Yeah.
And he did it, you said?
No.
Because the way we're figuring is, like, thinking maybe an accident, but it would be an accident that someone would know about. They would have to literally, and I don't even think they could do this, drop him hit his head against something while they're walking through a door frame, or literally grab him and hit him up against a wall, or hit him on the top of the head with something.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything. I give you my word on that one. I haven't. I have not seen him hit anything. I have not seen anybody pick him up, literally, and hit him against the wall or anything. If I would have, I report it right away.
Did you ever report Nancy's behavior when you said she's rough with the kids and throws them into the crib?
No, she doesn't throw them into the crib. She places them on the cots. She wouldn't throw them.
But you said, sometimes she gets aggravated.
Sometimes she gets, yeah, she does. Frustrated.
She handles them roughly.
Not roughly, but sometimes you could see the frustration in her face.
But you said sometimes, like, she won't support their head.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's almost like whiplash. I mean, if they're not supporting their kid.
If they're like this, yeah, like, and then she's just like holding them on the outer side, and how she holds them sometimes. And then Ben, when he also too, here's the thing, when we would have to change his diaper, he's like, literally, you would have to like carry and support his head because he throws his head back he was doing that quite a bit this week. In the beginning, he was just like, didn't even want anything to do. He was just like this. He didn't like it when we picked him up to change his diaper.
Who changed his diaper?
I did.
The entire day?
Throughout the entire day. I changed him in the afternoon. I believe I changed him in the second before that last time. And that was it.
Prior to Nancy leaving to sanitize the plates, you said about an hour prior to that she was alone with the kids for a little bit?
Because I went to use the bathroom, but that was when all the kids were still in seating and snack.
Besides for that, did you step out of the room at all?
No, not even.
To go and talk to your sister?
No.
Did your sister come in throughout the day?
She was in and out through the day. Yes, she was.
Did anyone ever report the way Nancy ever handled the kids there? Or?
No, I thought they already talked to her, to tell you the truth, because I wasn't there that long. I haven't been there that long.
Who do you think talked to her?
Probably Sandy.
Why?
I just had a curiosity that Sandy would have talked to, or someone like Wendy would have talked to her, or someone else that would talk to her already.
Talk to her and what, say that's not how you handle the kids?
Just to I know you're frustrated sometimes, but
why would you say Wendy? Is she like the type of person who would say something to her? Or?
No, it's her classroom. So, if...
Is Nancy a helper too? Or
yeah, she comes in at 9 and she starts breaks around like 9:10. That 9:10.
Has Wendy ever said anything to you?
No.
She hasn't?
No.
I mean, when I started, and when my partner started work as police work, other people that have been doing the job for a while, they'll tell you, well, don't do stuff this way, do it that way.
They were telling me to like help out. She was telling me sometimes to like help out, and then for art or if they eat and stuff like that, she would explain. She's like, we don't do it this way. Yeah, she said that, but nothing other than that. No.
Well, Melissa, just this whole time thing and this injury to his head was when you were alone with him. I mean, I don't know how you could convince us that he did it.
He was sitting, yeah. He was sitting. Like, there was nothing around him or anywhere possibly that he could have hit his head. I'm clueless. I don't know.
I mean, could he have dropped out from a changing table when you were changing his diaper and you're afraid to tell us?
No, I would never do that. I am not going to be afraid to tell you. If I drop somebody from the changing table, I would be stoked and crying, freaking out, but I would go and tell.
But sometimes people make a mistake, and they don't want to tell somebody because this economy sucks. They don't want to lose their job and say, hey, listen, I just dropped a kid. So then they're going to put that in your record. You're going to get in trouble. You might be afraid, and you might be like, well, kids fall all the time. He might be okay. And then this happens. We could understand that happening. Because you're afraid to tell someone at the time. You don't want to lose your job. The
only thing I kind of feel guilt a little bit about is that I wish I could have done a little bit more and help out more because of the fact my sister was doing everything, because I literally felt guilty because I wasn't doing anything. I just made a call and I was just young.
That's helpful. You know.
But that's
sometimes the most. That's sometimes the most important thing you could do is to summon more advanced medical personnel. That's the most important thing. Number one. That's how we're trained too. The most important thing you could do is get on the phone so more people come that know more than we do. So you did do something to help them. But we don't want you to be afraid to tell us because, you know, you were afraid you're going to lose your job and you thought it would be okay because you see kids fall every day. You probably see a kid fall every day, literally, like fall down. We don't want you to be afraid to tell us that because at the end of this investigation, like we're going to have so many people working on so many specialists. We're going to know exactly probably what caused the injury. Okay. Right now we got a team. They're probably closed down the nursery by now. I don't know, you're probably not aware of that. They're probably closed it down by now, but we got a team of evidence technicians.
Okay.
And they're sketching
Crime scene investigators,
okay.
CSI.
They're sketching the room, the floors, and at the end of this, might be not today or tomorrow, they're going to know exactly what caused this injury to his head. I mean, because there's certain things that could cause a certain injury.
Yeah.
You know, we actually have very good photographs of his injury.
Okay.
And then, even though it's
was
not
it
always
in the back of the head or in the front of the head?
That's what he asked.
I'm just kind of curious. Maybe I could rethink, you know, and maybe see if it was from the back of the head. Maybe he, you know, Crystal probably when she was doing CPR, when she picked him up and put him on the change table, maybe he hit his head really good because it bounced up a little bit. Maybe that could have been the reason when she put him down. You know what I mean? So, like, for his head to kind of bounce a little bit, but, like, she didn't bounce him, like, hard when she put him down. She was doing the CPR. I made sure I had the kids stand back. And I got all the kids out of the way. Because like I was saying earlier, I had the kids in the kitchen. So maybe, you know, that's what could have happened when she was performing CPR.
Did you see his head bounce?
A little, yes, I did.
And she was only trying to help him.
Yes, she was trying to help him.
What's the table made out of? What is it?
It actually had it was our changing table. It had a mat on it though.
Oh,
and
mat?
then underneath it though was hard.
But he would have hit his head on the mat, right?
Yeah, but it was the mat was kind of hard.
That wouldn't have caused this injury.
That's the only thing though I'm thinking.
Is there any way that an accident might have happened and you were afraid to tell someone because you thought everything would be okay?
Yeah, no accidents whatsoever. No. I never, yeah.
And what about him hitting his head and, you know, you not paying that much attention to it and then being re-aggravated on that changing table? Could that have happened?
That could have. With him hitting his head, yes. But I made sure the clear way when I would pick him up, because when I changed him from nap, he wasn't acting like that. He was fine. He let me change his diaper and everything. But when I placed them, and when I placed even every kid now in my room, I hold their head and I gently put them on the changing table so that they wouldn't hit anything. And I made sure of that. But when he would like seriously like do this, and then he would like try to put him down, sometimes he would hit his head on the changing table, like on the mat though. And he would whine and cry because he didn't want to get his diaper changed. So
it's safe to say 45 minutes before he started losing consciousness, the only people in this room were you and Nancy.
Yes.
So if someone did this to him, it would be safe to say that the only people that could have done something to him would be either you or Nancy. Is that a good, if it happened within 45 minutes of this?
I agree, but I don't even know what I could have done to make him hit his head.
But you would, like I said, this is a substantial injury. If he hit his head to cause this injury, you would know.
I would.
You would know. But not saying you meant it to happen, but you would know. Because I know you're very careful and everything, but I'm very careful with my son, and I'm paranoid because of all the shit that we go through and we deal with. But I mean, I've hit my son's head, to tell you the truth, on a door frame once, carrying him through. I mean, it happened. It was an accident. I didn't mean. I thought.
Oh, and he's done that too.
But there's stuff I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard to believe that there's never any accidents, or I'm almost worried when he's on the changing table because they flay around so much and they go crazy. And I'm afraid sometimes when I get his clothes, sometimes I have to put him down on the floor because I know he'll jump right off it in 1 second. They're so quick, babies. When I put him down, he turns on his stomach, I swear to God, in 2 seconds. And he thinks it's a joke. He thinks it's a game. So it's hard for me to believe that there's never no accidents because I'm only watching one, and you love these kids, I know you do, but when it's your own kid, you'll see someday you're really, 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 there's even more love for the child.
No.
And when that stuff happens to me, even with one kid, I can't imagine how someone could take care of 8 kids and there not be mishaps. I mean, it just has to happen.
Yeah, if I had seen any accident, I do report it. I do. I say something. I let them know. And I even asked.
Have you ever reported an accident before?
Not there, no. Because I've never.
You've been there for a year and 2 months?
I've been at the other place.
I mean for this company.
For this company, yeah. I have reported accidents.
Like what type of accidents?
Bumps on the head.
Like from what?
What do you mean?
Like, did they fall?
Yeah, when they fall or they clench together, and there would be a mark literally on their heads. And I would report it. And I get an accident report, and I fill it out. And then when I'm done filling it out, I sign it, I give it to my boss. They look over it, and then they sign it, and then we have to have the parent's signature. I've done that a lot.
Sometimes when places make people do all that stuff, it's a great system, but it's a pain in the butt. Because you're like, shit, he just hit his head, he'll be fine. This kid hits his head every day. I don't want to be filling out reports. I'm the only one in here. I got to watch these kids. So you continue to watch them thinking everything will be fine.
I check, too, for bumps and everything. I feel their foreheads to make sure and everything.
Well, I mean, this was real apparent, these marks that he had. I mean, but I really, Melissa, I need you to.
I know.
I'm like, if like you were like a family member, I would like want to scream and say, Melissa, if you're involved in any way, please let these guys know. I would like to tell you that we're not here to hurt you, especially if it was an accident. We're not. A lot of people are afraid of the police. There's no need to be afraid of us.
I know.
We're here to get to the bottom of this. If it was your child, we would do the same thing. We're not trying to hurt you here.
I know.
We don't think you intentionally went in and hurt this kid. I swear I don't think that.
I wouldn't.
But I do think an accident happened. And
I agree.
And we need to know.
That's what I want to know, though, because every time I have held him, he has been safe. He was head resting on my shoulder or in my arm sometimes, and then we'll walk around, he'll dance with me, we'll, do dancing, but I have never in my life that I've been there, even ever, would seriously, do that to him. Because I even know for a fact, too, that toddlers at his age, they are sensitive. They still have growing skulls. Their heads are still sensitive, just like really baby ones, small, tiny ones. And I understand that their heads are sensitive. But I would never.
We're not saying intentionally.
I know, and I'm
just saying if there was an accident,
I would say something.
I can understand why someone wouldn't. There's stuff that we're supposed to do, like at work, and it's a lot of protocol, and sometimes, if you hurt yourself, you're supposed to fill out all these forms, and you got to go to an accident review board, and it's just like, man, I don't want to deal with all this BS. I'll be fine. I don't want to say anything.